Labrador, one of the true wildernesses left in the world. Imagine 113,000 square miles of pristine land covered in lakes and rivers, and yet with a population of less than 30,000 people. There are more bears and moose than there are people in this magical land. For those that love catching wild Atlantic salmon on a fly, Labrador is it for numbers and size of fish. For years, I've heard about the epic runs of salmon on the big river, but had never fished it because the only lodge on the river was private. A few years ago, we learned that the lodge had changed hands, and it now had a new owner who opened it to the public. Of course, I wanted my daughter, who has become addicted to catching Atlantic salmon, to accompany me and sample this world-class fishing destination. What happened over the next week in terms of fishing is honestly hard to describe with just words. Come join us as we learn about this epic river and outstanding fishery, all in the wilds of Labrador. Suddenly, Jenna hooked into one, which as her father certainly made my day.
Get some good action here.
Okay, this way?
This morning.
I didn't see a jump either.
I didn't see that
on
one.
that one.
No. Oh, there's a bunch of fish moving in there now, I bet. Just seen another one porpoise.
Okay, so my dad's telling me to stay tight to the line, but kind of walk back, get the fish
sort of move back. You're gonna
away from the faster water there.
Yep, you're doing a fine job. When he runs, just let him go.
Okay.
Don't try to stop him.
Okay.
When you feel him sort of starting to tire a bit, you get him in closer now, and you get his head up close to the water, you give him a pull, you should be able to. There you go. Oh. And sort of get him up like that again.
Okay, like this?
Oh, there you go, there you go, there you go. Beautiful.
Whew.
Nice. That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Good job bringing them to the net.
And they're so silvery here. You get some that are a little pinker. They're beautiful.
The first riffle and pools the salmon encounter coming upriver from the ocean are literally right in front of the lodge. The fish caught here are bright chrome, full of vigor and fight. They're exceptionally aggressive, especially on topwater flies. From dead drifted bombers to riffle-hitched wet flies, skimming along the surface, the salmon hammer them all, which makes for incredibly exciting fishing, which is why bombers and also wet flies with a riffling hitch work so well. "5 miles down the river, the tide has come in, and with it, a fresh run of Atlantic salmon, along with some sea-run trout. It's gonna be another epic day of fishing. We jumped into one of the Gander boats, and Mitch drove us across the river to another set of runs, which was literally less than 5 minutes away. Once we got set up and started casting, then the action was insane. Everyone had a fish on. I waded to the top of the run, made a few casts, and immediately had a fish hit my fly. But then I kept missing it. After several failed attempts, finally I was able to connect, and what a spectacular fight this salmon gave me. This was an incredible morning of fishing for everyone at the lodge. The pursuit of Atlantic salmon is considered by some as the pinnacle of fly fishing. For me, Atlantic salmon represent a profound range of strong emotions. As Jim McKay stated for ABC's Wide World of Sports, the thrill of victory.
Oh yes, yes, this is what it's all about, folks. This is what it's all about.
And the agony of defeat.
Oh, no.
God.
You got out in that side current. I couldn't turn him.
That is the essence of why I love Atlantic salmon angling so much. There's simply a ridiculous addiction and passion, but one seemingly I cannot live without. So with this in mind, my trip to Flowers River has led to many restless nights as I dreamed of large Atlantic salmon rising to take my bomber off the surface, followed by an explosive jump and run. And what fish there are here. Day 3 starts off with mixed weather. A good chance of rain is going to happen. Chris believes our best option is to head far upriver to find resting salmon. I like his thinking. Chris is taking me to Top Pool, a place where salmon will rest after coming through a set of rapids. There's a lot of rocks, boulders, and other structure for the salmon to hold near and rest after their battle through the rapids. Perfect. I'm excited to make my first cast. Chris, am I doing it right or am I putting it in the wrong place? Because I put that fly over that fish half a dozen times now.
Colin, just cast a little closer to him. You're up a little bit too far. Land it about 2 or 3 feet in front of him. Let it float down and he'll take it, I guarantee it.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a nice fish. It's got to be at least 8 pounds. But to get this on a little tiny, it's almost like a bug, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a, this is a number 8 bee bomber.
Bee bomber.
Yeah, great fly in the river.
So one of the things Chris was reminding me as this fish jumps is to bow to the fish and keep it tight, but let the rod take the shock so you don't break the tippet. Oh, he's right in front of me here. Oh, it's a nice fish. Beautiful colors, fresh. See if I can get him to you, Chris. I'm gonna back up here.
Yep.
Back up, back up.
He's gonna go again, I think.
Yeah,
Here.
I think he is. He's thinking about it. Got his head up. You can tell I'm excited. My hands are shaking. This is so much fun. Catching a big salmon like this. Okay, So I'm gonna walk back to you.
He's right at your feet, Colin.
He's right at my feet. There you go. Ah. That is awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. On a little tiny dry fly. All right, we don't want to stress this fish. It's a nice male. Hold him up here. I'll hold the net. Do you want to hold him?
Yep.
Show him the camera. We keep him in the water. Look at that. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Absolutely.
Around 8 to 10 pounds, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful fish.
Always release the salmon upstream. He's ready to go.
And that is why you come all the way to Labrador.
Great job.
Flowers River. Another pump there, buddy. Awesome beyond words. Awesome. See that head come up, and we're having to work. I mean, there's lots of fish here. They're making us work. But to catch them on a little tiny fly, that's a bumblebee?
Yeah, bee bomber, yeah.
Bee bomber. Wow.
Awesome.
Well, I gotta tell you, folks, that was really disappointing. The rain came down. We went out in the boat, and I was swinging a wet fly with a riffling hitch, and a fish came, rolled on it. I did a pause 2-3, pulled, set the hook, fought it. Everything was going well. The rain was just hammering down. Camera couldn't use his camera. He's using the GoPro. It was a big fish. Had him up here in the upper pool. I'm fighting him, and we're trying to lift the anchor, and we're having trouble getting it up. Got the motor started. You know how it is. It's just total chaos. And I was fighting him, keeping him in the upper pool, and all of a sudden, he did a run. And went into the backing, started going downriver. I held him for a bit, and then he did another couple jerk runs, and he was put so much pressure, and it's only 8 pound, right? We've got to tip it. One of the terrible things, if you don't put your backing on tight enough, and I thought I had my backing on tight enough, it actually dug into the backing. And it locked, snap, gone. I just lost a trophy salmon, like absolute giant, and I've got no one to blame but me. So we're kind of in between blustering bits of rain and crap, and it's just awful. But the fishing has been really good. We just saw a fish move, and I'm putting a riffling hitch over the one I just saw move. But this has been so exciting, so exciting. Lots of fish, mostly big fish, and they're liking this bad weather. Just like steelhead fishing, they're liking the bad weather. They're moving, they're fresh fish, and they're aggressive. Hard part for us is getting a good presentation with the wind, and also, obviously, the cameraman's having a heck of a time. Keep having to put the camera away. Some of the best moments, but we're getting a lot on cameras. After fishing the pool in this rain for some time, Chris suggested we head to another run known as Gonzo, so we jumped into the canoe to move locations. Of course, the rains continued to hammer us during our transit. This weather and its numerous changes clearly highlights why you need to bring good quality waders, wading jackets, and layered clothing. Labrador weather can be quite severe and fierce, possibly ruining a good day of fishing if you're not prepared. So as you can see, the rain's continuing. We've come downriver from the last pool. We're now at a pool known as Gonzo. We're gonna hit it before we head back to the lodge for supper. It's about 3 o'clock-ish, but the rain is still coming down pretty heavily. We're hoping there'll be lots of fresh fish at this pool, just like there was above. Let's give it a try with a wet fly using a riffling hitch.
It's an excited fish because I saw him move.
That time I got him.
Oh! Oh! That's the problem with barbless hooks, you lose some fish. Is there anything I should have done different, Chris?
Really hard because he came towards you when you set the hook.
Yeah.
You did everything you could to keep a tight line on him.
We had just left Gonzo Run when suddenly the sky opened up and the sun came back out. Typical Labrador, fast-changing weather with lots of extremes. Newfoundland, a rugged and yet stunningly beautiful island in the North Atlantic. From rarely seen wildlife such as caribou and moose, to incredible runs of Atlantic salmon, Newfoundland has been captivating visitors for hundreds of years with its natural wonders. My adventure is in northern Newfoundland, which juts into the sea, surrounded by passing icebergs, feeding whales, and much, much more. I'm the guest of Tuckamore Lodge, considered by many as one of the top destinations in Newfoundland to visit. Best of all, the salmon are running in very large numbers this year. This should be a trip I will remember for the rest of my life. Come join me on this epic adventure. On this special trip, I experience all the excitement Newfoundland has to offer while visiting Tuckamore Lodge. This first-class luxury lodge is nestled on the scenic coast of the Great Northern Peninsula, a prime location for sightseeing, taking in the boundless wildlife, and of course, spending time on the water, casting for Atlantic salmon on the fly. The perfect holiday for any angler. As any angler knows all too well, Mother Nature can be fickle and really alter your plans. Just as I arrived at Tuckamore Lodge, the Department of Fisheries and Oceans restricted fishing on the rivers due to low water levels, meaning we could only fish between first light, which was 4:30 a.m., and 10 a.m. each day. This measure was implemented to protect the salmon, as low water conditions often equates to rising temperatures, stressing the fish. The good news was that water temperatures were actually dropping thanks to cool nights and overcast days. Despite these restrictions, I was still excited as there's so much to do in this region besides fishing. My guide this week is Stephen Flynn, who everyone knows as Junior. He's been fishing in this area of Newfoundland his whole life and possesses in-depth knowledge and understanding of the techniques and patterns that will ensure success. With much anticipation, I was eager to rise before sunup each day and get out on the water. Thank goodness for strong coffee. So Junior, why have you brought me to this particular spot? What do you want me to use, and what can we expect from this spot? Because I'm seeing lots of fish, so it's a good sign.
Well, right here now, the fish is the river narrows up here really, and there's a deep channel through. They hold right here in this deep channel, right? So where it comes through out here. So you start up here on the top, and we'll do a bit of dry fly fishing and drop it in, let it dead drift down between the stones here. These fish are whole here. This is the deepest part of the river, right? And there's lots of them there now, by the look of it. So get out and have a go. Here. Ooh. Got him? Yes. Yep. Good.
That was interesting to eat.
Yep.
I've got fish jumping everywhere here, Junior, and I could not get them to eat. This little bomber, and I think this is a fresher fish though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like fresher girl. So, you want me to bring him over here?
Yeah, try to bring him around and bring him into the little bay there. That's a fresh fish.
Yeah.
Nice silvery fish.
Nice jumps. Beautiful. Perfect on a 7 or 8 weight rod. Oh, he's getting around that rock. Bring him over here. There we go. We'll bring him to you. Fish is ready. His head's up. Bring it in. There we go. First fish. And we got here, we had to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Came in here, be here for first light. Okay, there we go, that fish. Right, I'm gonna show it the camera, just quick. Beautiful. And he's already ready to go. Beautiful girl. Fresh.
I'll bring him out. Just like that. You're out there, go right out in front of you, so right that way. And you cast towards that big stone on that point right there, look.
Over there?
Yeah. Cast towards that and let it ripple across there.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah. That was like coordinated, synchronized swimming.
Synchronized swimming, boy.
Though we saw many salmon moving up the river, I could only entice one to take my topwater fly. No problem. Tomorrow I'll get another chance.
Welcome to the heart of Newfoundland and Labrador. At the base of Newfoundland's wild peninsula, there's a cabin in the middle of nowhere. A cabin where the closest signs of civilization are but a helicopter ride away. A cabin where some of the finest guides in the province choose to work their craft. Welcome to GUIDE-ARLUK Outfitters and their incredible outpost cabin on Caribou Lake, a feeder lake and tributary to the main river. It's midsummer. The bugs are gone, and Atlantic salmon are making their way to their spawning grounds. We're here to intercept these anadromous fish as they embark on their journey upstream. I'll be honest with you, this adventure isn't for everybody. It's pure wild. It's hard work. It's a slog through Newfoundland bogs, and it's enough to test anyone's mettle. One thing that it isn't for the faint of heart. That said, it's pure adventure, and if you're up for it, extremely rewarding for any fly angler. Our guide on this adventure is Scott Brake, a seasoned salmon guide in Newfoundland and Labrador and an expert on the fish of the main river. We begin our day after an early breakfast and load up the boat to begin our journey into the unknown, our journey to the main river. The adventure to the main takes you across Caribou Lake, clear across the other side from the cabin. It's a 10-minute boat ride to the outflow. From here, you pack up and make the 4-kilometer walk through the bog to the main river. Remember to look up every once in a while because it's as rugged and beautiful as any wild and pristine landscape.
Scott, I'm an addict for dry fly fishing. Bombers, love them. I'm gonna start with that. Is that cool with you? Sounds good. We'll cast towards this rock right here upriver and let it dead float all the way down. Do both sides of the rock and even let it come right in and hit the rock.
Okay.
Because a lot of times the fish will just come right straight up at it off the rock.
Okay. That was a fish. Was that a trout?
Trout, yeah.
How do you like that? You missed the fly, dude.
The fish are here. We can see them moving in the pool. However, they aren't moving on a bomber. We decide to put a little action on the surface to grab their attention. So I pull out an undertaker and tie it on with a hitch.
Now I'm gonna have to move this bug on my own, right? I'm gonna have to pull it, skate it myself.
Yeah, you're probably going to want to pull it a bit for sure, yeah. It's just water speed's not overly fast here.
Right.
But we will walk upstream and
yeah.
cast like 45, right?
Didn't prick him.
I rolled that fish on an undertaker, but I couldn't get it to move again. So I switched flies to one called None of Your Business and put it right back in the same spot.
It's into the calm water. There you go. I was gonna say, when your fly gets into the calm water, just give it a little pull.
He was right on that seam.
Yeah.
Right on that edge. We tried fishing a bomber for a little bit this morning and wasn't able to do anything. Didn't move any fish. So we switched over to a wet fly, a hitched wet fly. And after a little bit of effort, I'm proven not the idiot at Idiot's Rock. So patience is key, right, Scott? You gotta, I mean, this is the second time through this run. We didn't move a fish the first time.
No, that's right.
Dang, these things are great. And it came just off the inside of that, or sorry, the outside, our side of that seam there, and just came up and whacked it.
Worst of it here is the water. We're so dark.
Not done yet. Was that 8 or 9 jumps? That's insane.
And he hasn't seen me yet with the net.
Yeah, exactly. But look how he digs his nose down trying to be rid of that fly, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good job. Oh, this fat little guy, hey? I just get past that to you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Fly's on the other side.
All right, let's let this guy go.
Another one jump right from the rock.
Yeah. Drop the net for me, please.
Yeah.
Purple. No sea lice on it, but look how thick it is across the back. A good girl's. Really nice fish.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, way to go. See you, bud. So tell me about this fly. It's called None of Your Business, right?
Yeah, that's correct. None of your business. It's just a dark body fly with some crystal flash, basically. Works very, very well here.
Yeah.
Dark flies in general, and I'm all about flash.
Yeah, so the darker, the better, with a little bit of flash, and that did the trick on this.
Yeah.
We fished Idiot's Rock for about another hour and decided to make a move about a 10-minute walk upstream to a convergence of 2 parts of the main river. They call this Sam's Run.
This is your favorite stretch of the river?
Yeah, I really like it here at Sam's, yeah.
How do you want me to fish it?
We're going to cast basically to the other side of the run and let it sweep. Let it come right to the other side where it goes dead water.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fish will take right at the dead water.
Okay. So don't start close to me, just go right across and begin?
Yeah, let it sweep right across.
Okay.
Sam's run is faster water than that of Idiot's Rock. Therefore, I don't need to put any movement on the fly and can simply let the current move the riffle hitch across.
Want to, you can move down to the rock just so it's not so long. There you go. Forward.
That's a good. Oh, he came off. That was a good fish.
There you go. Good job.
Thank you. It's tough with long line like this, huh?
It is. It's definitely hard, yeah, to do a good hook set with a long line.
But you can't walk into their home.
No, you'll drive them, right? You'll push them off.
But right where those two currents meet on that bubble line, that's where all those fish were taking. It's got some weight to it. Yep.
Yeah, we haven't had a jump yet. Oh yeah, that's a nice fish. In Newfoundland, with retention, you can't keep a fish 63 centimeters or above. They base it on being the main spawners are the bigger fish. Obviously, they're going to produce more eggs, so there's no retention on that.
Got him.
He's trying. He's trying.
And he comes right at me.
Yeah.
They don't quit, do they?
No, no, very, very strong. For like such a small fish, very, very strong.
He's all wrapped up now.
Come on, buddy.
He's about done. Ooh.
Stuff.
Now, once again, here at ARLUK, it's a quantity game, but you do have opportunity to dance with girls that are pushing salmon size. That guy's getting close.
You get his gill plate he's missing.
And he's missing a gill plate. Interesting. All right, buddy, go grow up. See you next year. Oh.
Good stuff.
I'm glad it's warm.
I'm in for a treat this week as I am the guest of Gander River Outfitters, a beautiful full-service facility located on the northeastern coast of Newfoundland near the city of Gander. Flowing into Gander Bay on Newfoundland's northeast coast is the 37-mile-long Gander River. The Gander River has an annual run of wild Atlantic salmon that has increased steadily to over 25,000 fish. This is nothing short of remarkable. On this trip, I'm lucky to have the knowledge of a variety of guides, and once settled in, I head out onto the river with guide and good friend Mitch Head. A unique feature provided by the lodge is the vessel we're fishing from, known specifically as a Gander riverboat. This boat was designed for the fast currents of the Gander River, very stable and easy to fish from. We begin our Atlantic salmon adventure literally a 30-second boat ride from the lodge at Home Pool.
Mitch, we've seen a couple of fish come through this run, and it looks like they're not jumping, but they're porpoising. Are those catchable fish?
Yes. Usually what I find is that when you get the fish that are jumping is the ones that are moving, shooting on through, but the ones that are porpoising usually holding.
they're holding, they're coming up, they're grabbing some stuff, or they're just checking things out or what have you. But they're catchable.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they're jumping in the air, they're moving, chances are you're not going to get them.
Don't chase a jumping fish.
Don't chase a jumping. If they're porpoising, you got a shot at them.
Yeah.
When fishing for Atlantic salmon, there are two types of rise forms to become familiar with. The first rise form indicates a fish that is moving through the run and is unlikely to be taken. This is when the fish jumps clearly out of the water and lands with a large splash. The second rise form is far more subtle. You likely only see a bulge on the surface or possibly a fin or back exposed. This is the rise form that will be more likely to indicate an active, feeding salmon, a catchable fish. Though it's believed that salmon don't eat when they're in the rivers, we witnessed nymphing fish with our underwater cameras.
Oh, got him.
You got him? Yes.
So we were really having these flies fly through the run, and Mitch suggested that maybe they were going too quickly, and to do a technique where you cast out, throw an arm end upstream, let the line come tight, and then follow the fly down on a tight line. And that's what happened here. This fish, the fly was slow enough that it, as Mitch said, hangs in his face a little longer, such that you've got a shot for him to react to it, and that's what happened with this salmon. Fresh fish, looked like a fat one.
That's a nice, beautiful fish. Gone, is he?
Yeah, he's out.
Out again.
Now, when fighting salmon in current, you got to try to get them out of it as quickly as you can. Get them in the soft water.
Yep.
So if they go left, you pull right. The current gives them the advantage. And believe me, I need all the help I can get right now. We saw the net. Nice! Ah, and a shower to boot. Good job. Nice net job, man. Woohoo! Fish.
That was him, right? Same spot?
No, on that seam.
Okay.
Woohoo! Just after lunch. We nice gross, nice jumper. We're playing the incoming tide, and we didn't get anything on the outgoing tide this morning. And I'm sure Mitch has some ideas as to why that might be, but we've got a fish on the incoming tide, which means that, you know, the water's coming up and there's more fish coming in from the ocean. So he's tied on a Lady T, which is a personal tie named after his daughter, and that was about 8 swings through and rows of fish. And now we got one on. Try to get this fish into the soft water. Nice grab, Mitch.
And they're lively, eh?
Yeah. Still green. That fly just pops right out, barbless as always. Shit, maybe I should have fought him another 5 minutes or so, huh?
No, that's good for the fish.
Yeah, it's great for the fish. Get him in quick. Fantastic, girls.
Nice fish.
All right, that was an awesome fish. Awesome fish. Sometimes you have to put some work in for them, huh?
Yeah, all morning.
But the tide's coming in now, so what's happening?
Well, as the tide starts rising, the fish are wading out in the bay on the low tide, and as it starts rising, they'll start coming up with it.
Right.
And, well, that brings in fresher fish, new to the river, or at least fairly new.
So high tide tonight is 6:28.
Yeah.
So we should have a flush of fish coming in basically all afternoon.
All afternoon, yeah.
That's sweet. That's great. I want to be able to control the speed of my fly as it swings across multiple speeds of currents here on this run. And the way I'm doing that is throwing a big upstream mend in the fast water so that the line slowly bellies over into the shoreline. But what happens if a fish hits right as you make your mend and you're at the extent of your arm? Well, you know what? In this fast-moving water, it's not a huge issue because all you need to do is either flick your wrist upstream or gently lift. So you make your mend, fish eats, you do this, or the fish eats and you just gently lift. The fish will generally set the hook itself, but you need to make sure that you keep that line tight by either flicking your wrist upstream or just gently lifting your rod tip. It was clear the fish were moving in, and I wasn't the only one who was benefiting. Just downriver from us, other guests were also hooking into their own salmon.
Nice one too, looks like. He's lucky never lost him then.
That is a good fish.
Oh yeah.
Mitch's prediction was true. There are a pile of fresh fish coming into the river from Gander Bay. Some a little too close for comfort.
It scared the
Fish, never give up, right? That's salmon fishing for you.
Never ever give up.
Just coming in, last couple of casts of the day, put a green bug on and skating it under the surface of the water, and salmon came up and ate it. It's pretty remarkable to be able to see the eats. They're just violent. I haven't seen this fish yet though.
No.
Good job. Nice stab. Look at how dark this fish is on top. Wow. That's a thick fish, man. All right, let's take a look at this beautiful Atlantic. Nice hen. And then we can let her go. How do you like that? Look at the purple. She's absolutely gorgeous. Just a fantastic, fantastic specimen. And to take it on a wet fly, a wet bug, great. Ready, Darlin? Away you go. What a great fish. We're looking forward to the tide to peak in hopes of bringing in some fresh fish from the ocean this evening.